Welcome to Leeward Community College's AAT program. This is the ED 285 Syllabus Review. The course itself is entitled Introduction to Classroom Management. My name is Michael Cautery. I'll be the instructor for this course. Please feel free to stop by my office at any time, especially if you're an online student. It's always good to have an opportunity to meet you face to face. Feel free to contact me on my office phone, 808-455-0361, or if you need me, please feel free to use my cell as well. You can always get me by email. It's probably the best way, and that way we both have a record of our conversation. This syllabus is both for the online class and also my face-to-face classes, so it's a pretty similar course in either way. The course description, which is really important, and I'll read it to you. It's very simple. Classroom management is an essential foundation to the learning environment. Through this introductory course, students will be offered a comprehensive overview of the general concepts and issues related to classroom management, which, believe it or not, is much more than just misbehaving students. Students will link theoretical ideas, the big concepts and constructs, with practical applications as they learn to create strategies that address a variety of classroom issues. It's really important here that we develop those practical applications, those real-world connections to what you might actually find in the classroom. Things that we're going to cover are going to be: how do you get people to do what you want them to do? How do you become the authority in the classroom? How do you develop very effective procedures and routines? How do you work towards making sure that we're reaching all learners and learning styles? How do we do instructional delivery and assessment, lesson planning, field trips, discipline, assessment, and portfolio organization, and so on and so forth. There'll be one primary text for this course, and that's Harry Wong's First Days of School. I have used other texts for this course, including The First 6 Weeks of School by Denton and Crete, and you're welcome to purchase that if you become familiar with it. It's a great text if you plan to become a K-6 teacher. Alright, we have several student learning outcomes. I'll let you read those at your own pace. Alright, and here we have the fundamentals of learning and teaching, just some basic things that you can begin to think about. We need to have a contextual focus. We need to have an understanding of the life world of the child, where they're living, where they're from, what culture they're from, who they're from, and similarly, what their experiences are on a day-to-day basis. We need to have an understanding of the emotional part of teaching, which is happiness and love and having positive attitude. Those are extremely important parts of the teaching profession. Similarly, another important part is the professional focus. What do we do? What are our responsibilities? How do we handle all of the note-taking and record-keeping and organization of the profession? And then, obviously, we have this important role as the instructor, the passer-on of knowledge. Similarly, I'm going to give you another way that you can think about this. This is just a framework for the emerging teacher. And there's 5 major areas that you're going to be developing in this course. One, you're going to be developing this sense of preparation and this really important part of teaching, which is to be prepared. You're going to begin to understand the school and the classroom environment and what it looks like and what you're going to find there. You, as an emerging teacher, need to think about instruction. How do you identify curriculum resources? How do you develop planning templates? How do you implement parts of the lesson clearly? How do you create engaging instruction? And as I mentioned earlier, it's important that you are understanding where your students come from. And similarly, the professional responsibilities. Alright, something more, the nuts and bolts of the course. One of the important assignments we're going to be doing in about the middle of the course, module 7, 8, and 9, around that area, will be our lesson planning. It will be about 25% of the grade, and you'll just have to construct a lesson plan in the functional lesson plan template, the template that I give you. It is an A through H format. It just breaks the lesson down into its major components. You will be needing to do a presentation for this and also critique 2 of your fellow students' lesson plans. There will be a number of writing assignments throughout the course. There are 12 in total, and they'll range from 10 to 30 points each. Some of them are shorter than others, and others take a little bit more time, but these are sort of really important parts of the course. You will be graded or be given a grade on your attendance or on your forum participation, your professionalism, as well as your ability to reflect and to demonstrate curiosity. It's really important, and I want you to read through these here, because if you do these things, you yourself will become a great student, a good professional, and an amazing teacher. So just begin to think about who you are and what it means to be a professional. Okay, if you're absent in the face-to-face class, just make sure you are, it will be noted, and make sure you contact me and letting know. If you are absent online, if you are not posting your forums, it will also be noted. So just let me know if you are not going to be around for some reason, if you have to travel, or if you have emergencies in the family. We can accommodate for that. Okay, I want you to make note also that forum discussions will be done by both online students and face-to-face students. Each forum is worth 5 points, so please make sure that you are participating in the forums. One of the biggest components, one of the biggest assignments in this class is a case study or a service learning assignment, where you're going to be going into the field and spending 10 hours in a teacher's classroom doing some observation and participation. There's 3 major components of it. You're going to observe and record the physical environment of the classroom and just look to see how the teacher set up the classroom. You are going to interview that teacher and just and focus on 2 main things. 1, why did they become a teacher, and what's it really like to be a teacher? And then 2, what are some classroom management strategies that work for them in the classroom, and how do they feel about those, and what kind of advice do they have for you on that, on classroom management? And I'll certainly talk more about that as the course goes on. I have a few notes here. Please feel free to read them at your own pace. It is very important that you take the syllabus out and read it word for word, so you understand what the expectations are for this course. I will note that submitting assignments will be done via Lalima. Please do not email me assignments as attachments. If you can, save them in Microsoft Word, that's .doc format, or in PDF. It's important, especially if you are a Mac user, you have the opportunity to save your documents in this format. If you would please do so, it'll save us a little bit of a headache. Quality standard, it's kind of important. As educators, we need to make sure that we are reading all of our work, because we are going to be responsible for modeling for our students what good learning is. And of course, we all make mistakes, and that's okay. I shouldn't have to talk about cheating and plagiarism. I think I think everybody knows, and trust me, I know in particular when it happens. So please don't do this. I know that you're capable and you are intelligent. There is no need to cheat or plagiarize in this course. Community, I want to talk about this a little bit, and that's just to let you know that it is important that we support one another in this course. We are all going to be the next generation of the educators in the state of Hawaii, and you're going to see people that you take this course with at the supermarket, and you're going to see them on the street, and you're going to see them in the park, and you're going to see them, more importantly, in schools as EAs and counselors and teachers and principals. And you're all going to be working together, so we might as well start now in being a very supportive community. Alright, for those face-to-face students, obviously just make note. Cell phones and texting, unless it's an emergency, please don't. And it's also very important to note that We will be creating a portfolio in the AAT program. So if you are an AAT student and you're planning to take ED 295 later on, please make sure that you keep all of your work organized so that you can use this work to create your portfolio later on. Alright, there are the point totals. Please feel free to read through that. And then later on you can see here that the course is organized into 15 modules. Each module will have readings, each module will have activities, and each module will have assignments. Alright, and that's just some general points that you can look out for in each module, what we're kind of focusing on. So remember to read through these. Okay, not only here through this video, but also on your own time. Alright. We'll be going through some really important stuff in classroom management, including Module 6, which I feel is probably the most important module of all. So just be aware. They're all extremely important, but Module 6 is of particular note. Alright, I'm going to scroll through these here. Okay, look here. So we're going to be making sure that we're taking part in actions. What are we doing to develop the skills of classroom management? So you can see that we're planning and critiquing, assessing, reflecting, all the important parts and actions of real teachers in the classroom. Alright, and we go down to Module 15. There are 15 modules. Okay, it is important. If you need anything, feel free to contact me. I will do my absolute best to get back to you. Do not be afraid to stop by. Do not be afraid to call. We can work things out in this course. Alright? And then at the end of the syllabus here, I've given you a checklist. This is just for yourself. If you want to go through and make sure that you've done every assignment, which is rather important, you can just come to this checklist and start checking off the boxes. Alright, there's 12 mini assignments. There are 2 major assignments. And then there's also all the forums. Okay, so I wish you luck in this course. If you need anything, again, please feel free to contact me and make sure that you have read the syllabus.